game's on right
All-Star.
now.
Right?
Yeah.
Billy Miller behind the
Everybody, yes, our friend Billy Miller behind the plate tonight at the
Nice.
All-Star game. Multiple off-the-lip show guests.
Right?
Yeah.
So while
Really?
we're speaking of the big game, let's talk about the big swell. By the way, everybody, welcome back to another great off-the-lip radio show. Tonight, our guest, the one and only Vince Broglio,
Hi,
is
kids.
back. One of the strongest backhand surfers in Santa Cruz, I would say. I'll give it
thank
to
you,
you.
thank you.
Is that his claim to fame?
You know,
Now,
I just...
now
I
you want
just-
your $20 now? Or?
No, well, I don't care how big it was. You paddled out, man, and caught bombs. By the way, getting back to the swell, I hope everybody survived today and got in safe. But yeah, the swell was pumping.
Yeah.
Where do you see it? Check it.
Yeah, I surfed at a private spot on the west side of town.
Very private spot.
Left-hander.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Say no more.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's only like 30 guys out, but
It was good though, huh? Some bombs.
Yeah,
Little
some
wind,
bombs.
though? Before the wind.
The kelp keeps the wind down.
Yeah, but was
And,
it breezy though?
No, not really.
Okay.
But
Were you
long
foiling?
walls.
Foiling?
No, surfing.
Surfing?
Yeah, that spot, it's almost impossible to foil.
Kelp,
It's
too much kelp.
Too much kelp, and the wave moves too fast. You get it flicked. Like, yeah.
Flicked as in
Like
tossed.
a booger off the finger.
Right.
Yeah, the board just pops out of the water way too
The
quick.
$20 question: were you riding a forefin today?
No, a twinser.
Windsor. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, 4
3.5.
No, I hate quads. Like, quads to me absolutely suck, and the twinsers will outperform a quad like 10 to 1.
Okay.
Where I always kind of describe it as between a twin fin and a thruster. You get the looseness and the quickness of a twin fin, but you get the drive of a thruster. So, and to me, quads, they're really good, like if you're in the tube or right in the pocket, but once you get out of that pocket, they die. Or if you watch guys turning the boards, a lot of times they have little dead spots in them. Like as soon as they hit off the bottom, they're driving, all of a sudden they get halfway up the face, they kind of die, or halfway through a turn, they'll die a bit. Whereas a twinser is just like a Ferrari, they just want to go.
And what fins are on that twinser? Who's making your fins?
Rainbow fins.
Rainbow's doing your fins?
Yeah.
Long time Rainbow.
Yeah,
fin
long
guy.
time.
And are they foam composite? Are they
No, strictly fiberglass.
all fiberglass?
Yeah.
How important are fins in your development of surfboards?
Big. To me, fin angle and placement is huge. Even the flex of the fins are big. Before I started shaping and going, made me this board, and it was, sorry Mark, it was kind of a dog. And
Hope Mark's not watching.
yeah.
Sorry, Mark.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, I just want to see what I can do to make this board good with
Change it up.
changing the flex of the fins, changing the foil from like a standard fin foil to the vector foil, where the inside of the foil's cut out. And I was able to do it with a combo of a vector and a standard foil, and a little bit of a flex in the fin, and made it into like a magic board.
Yeah.
I always ran the Vector twin fin with the small center.
Yeah.
I love that setup.
Right.
Especially on a board that has a little bit more tail width.
Right.
They seem to be, you get lift, drive.
Yeah.
And that was Curtis? Was that a Curtis?
Curtis.
Yeah.
That guy was a guru on fin foils.
Yeah.
Just insane. I met him on a trip one time, and we're talking boards and fins and all that stuff, and he goes, let me make you a couple sets of fins for your tow board. I was like, sure, okay. And okay, Mark, this was a magic tow board.
It changed it that much. Well,
No, the board was magic.
Oh, okay.
And then I put these fins on, and it went from magic to the next level. Like, I couldn't even feel any kind of drag on the fins, and it laid over and drove like.
Well, and Curtis Hasselgrave, for those who don't know, was the inventor of the future fin system, I believe.
Yeah.
And a big windsurfing fin foil guy.
Yeah,
He
big
took
time.
hundredths of a second off of speed times
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
He was that guy.
Yeah.
The Carroll Shelby of fins.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and so I get it.
Yeah.
And that's important. And I've talked to people like, It's interesting talking to shapers because they always think their shapes are what make it.
Exactly.
You know, but
you took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah, but it's interesting because I've spoken to people like Steve Coletta, for example, who says fins are what are the most important and most overlooked item of a surfboard.
Yeah. How many people surfing today, get to select their fins or are riding the proper fins? Probably 2% of the people who surf. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is now that there's some really good fin systems out there. Feature. I really like the FCS2. Pop them in.
Yeah, they're nice. They changed it.
Yeah. But the only thing that's kind of lacking, and I actually made a fin box, and it's one of those things that just is going to cost so much money to get out there. But the ability to adjust it just a little bit. If you can move your fin up and down, back and forth, like an 1/8 inch in either direction, that would change the performance of the board too.
Right.
Well, it's interesting with like a longboard, just moving that, the center, being like a 2+1, and moving that center fin just a little bit.
Yeah.
Changes the personality of a board so much.
Yeah, exactly.
It's interesting that.
Yeah, so that and just like with the FCS or even the Future, I could change the cant on them. Where what you do, say if you want to kick the fins out more, where you would take off a little bit of material on the inside of the fin and put a little bit of extra material on the outside, and that would kick it out, loosen it. If the board's a little sticky, that would loosen it up, or vice versa.
Right.
You do
Yeah,
the
so you
opposite.
just grind off a little on the outside.
Yeah, and it just very little, and you don't even have to take the whole base off. It's just on the very bottom, about 1/8 inch off the bottom, and shave that off and put a little bit on the other side, and
As a custom surfboard builder, I mean, you are an artist.
Thank you.
Yeah, but one of the things I think is missing is that's how surfboards used to be. When we were young, you had a relationship with a shaper who could, in today's world with these thin choices, coach you on what you've learned works for a board. And I think a lot of people have lost that because they buy a board, most of them come off of a rack, and it's some kid at the surf shop who's saying, put those on. And that's a really interesting thing that you'll see.
And the thing that cracks me up too is how the company's like, okay, this fin is for a person's that's from 100 pounds to 125 pounds. And then this fin's for...
In weight? They take...
Yeah. So they're selling these fins on weight instead of selling them on what the board's doing.
Yeah, performance.
Or where you're surfing too.
Yeah.
As well. I mean, one guy's surfing a beach break, one guy's surfing a double up reef break. It's a different item.
And I always say, one guy's nightmare is another guy's dream. So,
Of your experience with the fin companies, whose description of fins do you think is the best when it comes to that? Like, do you think that Future has a better way of making people make a right decision, or does FCS?
I think they're all kind of the same. They're
based on weight mostly.
Yeah. They do, describe, drive and all that kind of stuff. But I think it's more up to the shaper to go, hey, this is how I kind of design my boards. I think this fin will work really good on your board, and
based upon how you surf and your weight and so forth.
Not weight, but just like going, and I like using the EAs, the Erica Cow. That's a really good fin template, and I know how those work with my boards, and just because of the feedback I get back from other people going, okay, that board was magic or works really good.
When somebody comes to you for a board and you make them a board, do you talk about fins with them, or is that a big part?
I'll talk fins. First of all, the worst thing if you're going in talking to a shaper, for you guys out there, don't go, I want a board 40 liters. You can make a board 40 liters in 1,000 different ways.
Right.
So what you want to do is know your measurements, know your thickness, know if you like a thick rail, thin rail, your width. Then you can get into the whole liter thing. But
I don't get that at all.
Oh
honestly.
my God!
It's like
on my paddleboard, people ask me how many liters is it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not a terrible. It's a terrible term, in my opinion.
I have no clue. Not a clue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It floats, man. I have a good time on it.
Yeah.
It's fun, you know.
Exactly.
It's 6'3", it's 19 3/4, it's
Yeah.
2
How many
5/8,
liters is
that?
whatever,
Yeah.
like that's what I ride, 3 inches down.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, and do you approach the shaping like that?
Yeah. I'll really talk with them and give them my 2 cents, and I really want to hear what they have to say. Like, I like to have the guys bring in a board of what they're riding and go, hey, I really like this one, or I don't like this one. This one's a little sticky or whatever. And a lot of times, if you get a board that has a lot of concave in it, like 1/4 inch, 3/16, it's going to be sticky, especially if it's going through the tail. I like to put in like a little double hole going through the tail, a little just to break it up a little bit. Because if everything's just not right, it'll be sticky.
Right.
And
what about like a V-bottom?
yeah, like on my on all my Twinser boards, I do is single going into double barrel V-bottom.
Got it.
Yeah. So it's
Lift, and then also having that ability to go rail to rail.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. And especially with the Twinsers.
How do you get a new board, TC?
God, I mean, I've been coming back. We'll talk about that another day. I'm coming back. I'm getting a dream back.
Are you getting out of the car and getting back on the board?
Did you get a Broglio board?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brogy rips. I always talk about this one day when you and I went to Scotts Creek. I think I talked about it in the last show, but it was like one of the biggest swells ever. It was the day Mark Fu passed away.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, you and I met you out at the
Yeah.
ranch, and we drove up and we went and surfed Scott's, and Frosty was out, and we got cleaned up by a giant set. Frosty disappeared, and it was you and me. And I think you got one, and I was out there by myself, and it was sketchy as all out. It was closing out.
Yeah.
And I will always say that day, the speed of the swells that day were some of the fastest I've ever seen. Of how fast a swell travels through waters. Right. And it was just I was undersized on my board that day, and when I got in, I was so stoked. I was like, I made it. It was, but so I have a question about custom surfboards because we had this huge trend in the last maybe 10 years of Costco boards.
Oh yeah,
these pop out boards. The conglomerates that are filling stores with consignment boards. Yeah. Are people realizing that, man, custom's the way to go?
It's still that way. It's it's hard to get that niche, the following, because I was talking to this a few years ago. This guy I was talking to is like, oh yeah, I want to check out your board, and it's like, oh yeah, come on over. And this one guy pulls up, and he's the sales rep for Lost.
That guy.
Yeah, instantly over there. From going to, oh yeah, let me go check out your board to, oh yeah, killer.
I got one in the van.
Yeah. And this guy, what does he know about? He's a sales rep. How much knowledge does he have about surfboards and stuff like that?
Do you think people are going to step up from Costco boards too?
That's the question. What's the next step for all the biggest surfboard company in the world is Costco. Yeah. What's the next step? Costco doesn't sell the next step.
Did I tell you I started a survey? Well, I'm out there. I asked people who Joey Lopez is. Do you know who Joey Lopez is? And no one said, no one knows.
You keep asking?
Yeah.
Who's
I go,
Lopez?
hey,
And they go,
you know who Joey Lopez is? No.
And they're riding his board?
Yeah.
They're like,
no one said, I've taken a survey. So far, it's been zero.
0 people know.
Yeah, 0 people. I probably asked 8 people so far.
Classic.
That's the state of surfing, I guess, there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just summed it up.
Yeah.
Wow. You're busy, though.
Yeah, I'm busy. Because I make different boards. I make, your surfboards, longboards, shortboards, everything in between. I make kite boards. I got into kiting. I'm on my 3rd season right now. That is just absolutely a gas.
Have you ever gotten one of the lines around your neck yet?
No, but I've been. I've had a couple good kite nares though.
A couple of near drownings.
not drownings, but I.
Still here.
One time, one time, my first year of kiting, I was trying to do a self land, and it was super windy, and I was kind of overpowered on my kite, and I brought it down pretty nice, and then it bounced back up, and then it a gust of wind took it, and I flew probably about 20 feet across the beach. And, yeah. And
there's probably a clip on the internet of that somewhere.
I wish.
Right?
I'd love to see it.
Best fails.
Yeah. And I was luckily. You know how Scotts Creek gets all those boulders on the beach.
Oh, you missed it.
I landed on the other side of the rocks and just like kind of did a tuck and roll, and you can get out everything. Like I just grabbed my quick release and I was out. And
wow.
A buddy of mine just saw the whole thing. He was like, "Holy!" And so
how much does a basic setup of that cost? It seems like it's kind of an expensive endeavor.
It is, but you can get used equipment for pretty cheap.
Before turning it over.
Yeah, you can get into it within probably get a couple kites, harness, and a bar. You can get probably with under $1,000.
Oh,
yeah.
I think it's a young man's sport. I don't know.
No. It's actually. I think it's the opposite.
Yeah,
actually, it's a lot of guys who grew up sailing and surfing and now they got like the gas pedal, right? It's like how it feels like you got a gas pedal.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about popping up to your feet.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and so I'm back riding a 5.9 again.
Nice.
Yeah, feeling good.
Kiting?
Yeah, kiting. Yeah.
And kiting with a foil.
I don't kite with a foil. I just kind of bypassed that whole process and just went to the wing with the foil.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's no lines. You just paddle out deep enough to so your foil's not hitting. And I start off on your knees with the wing, get a little bit of speed going, jump to your feet, and you're gone.
Wow.
Yeah,
Huh.
It's pretty amazing. That sport has really taken off. Last year, it just like went off the charts with everybody. It's been around for I want to say about 4 years now. And then when I first saw it, I was just like, kind of hokey. Then I started watching a couple things on YouTube. And watching what the guys were doing with the waves and riding wind swells, I was like, okay, I get the picture now.
Remember, he came by me at indicators. This is years ago. It's probably 8 years ago now, maybe longer. He came by me at indicators. I was standing still.
Oh, and the paddling foil?
Smile, big smile.
I'm sure you made a lot of friends during that period, right?
Yeah. But the thing
Jeff
is,
Clark was there too.
That day.
Jeff. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, that was a controversial day.
Yeah.
That's when Jeff dropped in on Homer, right?
Oh god.
That went viral.
Yeah. Oh my god, that was pretty good. That was good comedy.
I'm sure. You can look that up on the internet. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeff Clark foiling in Santa Cruz. Yeah. That was a big one.
Yeah.
But you're seeing a growth in that right now.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah.
Because I think what we talked about earlier with the kelp and stuff out here.
They're not doing that here.
Yeah.
You can't do
Yeah,
that.
but no, you could wing out in the bay though.
Absolutely.
I'll jump off of it beach and go wing out and just take off. And like a buddy of mine, this guy Mike, he's 70, and we did a little mini downwinder. We jumped in at Natural Bridges and went down to It Beach, just catching wind swells and riding them. And when you get onto the wind swells, you just let your wing kind of fly loosely, and you're just riding the swells.
I've had a couple of friends ask me if I would help them during some of the big winter swell months to go out and if they want to foil, get towed in on some of the big ground swells.
Yeah.
And do like the 4 mile.
Who was that?
It's top secret.
Okay.
But the downwind got ground swell stuff.
Yeah, you can't really. You need something that's really standing up, because I've towed Third Reef a few times, and it's really hard if it's not standing up enough. Yeah, you can get the speed, but you'll lose the wave after a while.
Yeah.
So
that outer water stuff that like Kai Lenny does, that's like he's just pumping through it.
Oh yeah. That's the wind swells. So
Right.
you're pumping, and riding the wind swells is such a gas because you're just catching, connecting dots. And you're just turning all over the place, and
Is that what you do? You're actually looking out there and connecting those dots.
Oh yeah.
Right?
So once one kind of dissipates, you could pump your board,
Yeah.
and then jump into the next one. Or if there's nothing around, then you just pull your wing up, get a little power, and go and pull yourself into the next one, then let go of the wing, and
What a trip.
Yeah.
That's kind of the future, huh? You think a little bit?
Oh,
What's
yeah.
going
And if
on?
you lose if the wind dies, like the wind dies, then you're stuck.
Yeah, paddle.
You paddle.
Yeah, you just don't go out as far as
You can paddle.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's kind of windsurfing days too,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
You know, like hey, we're like, okay, if I'm going to go out in the middle of the ocean,
Right.
you better be able to roll it up, lay it on the deck, and paddle in.
Yeah,
know?
same thing with the kiting. I was like, okay, well, I know I can make 500 yards in, so that's my. Yeah, I won't go out any further.
Who's the best guy in Santa Cruz at doing that stuff?
Kiting?
Is it you? Like as far as like riding a sort of a wing and a foil, whether it's
Oh
a
no,
kite or-
this guy Matt. I can't think of his last name. Really good. Yeah, he's been doing it for like 3 years now, and just pretty much commits to it. And God, the guy rips.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
chips rips. You got him. You got this guy Nick, and this one guy Mateo, but he's up in the city now. If you go up to Chrissy Field,
Oh, they're all over there.
yeah,
huh?
yeah, it's all no one kites up there anymore.
You
Yes.
don't?
No,
They're just foiling?
yeah,
Yeah.
wing foiling.
Yeah, well, it's insane because the last time I was at Waddell and it was a good windy day, I was shocked by there was like 3 guys on sailboards.
Yeah,
You know, like the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
There's still sailboarders out there. Yeah, but it's interesting to see because when I was young and really into sailboarding,
Yeah.
that's all you saw there.
Oh,
was,
yeah.
You know,
Big
80
time.
guys.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and Waddell sails,
Uh-huh.
and, you know, like it was really an interesting time.
Yeah.
Gone. Now.
yeah, gone. Yeah, there's still a little handful of guys like Davenport's the windsurf only.
Right,
No
yeah,
kiting.
right.
They do let wingers out there, so it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or North Point, or
Either spot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the other spot. Yeah.
But that's kind of a courtesy, more or less, too, right? Are you?
Yeah, no,
are they holding it down?
Oh,
all
yeah,
west?
yeah, they hold it down.
Chasing them out, doing
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I love that. that still goes on.
Still goes on. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, we miss that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we talked about it on the show a few times, Neil.
the
about-
lowmen. There's
Yeah.
no lowmen anymore.
Yeah.
You
No.
know?
No,
Oh,
no.
you can't.
You
It
can't,
always,
no.
I mean, VC always comes up in that discussion.
Yeah.
Of like, of just making sure that there was respect.
Yeah.
And we've seemed to have lost that in this
Oh,
generation.
God.
You know, it's
Completely.
What do you think? What would you think he'd say about you? Foiling and
Who,
kiting?
VC?
Yeah.
Oh, he'd be right on it himself.
he would.
He would be on it trying to run people over. No.
And you know what? Honestly, I would see it being because you know I know people who when you conquer something,
Yeah.
you look for the next.
Right.
Yeah.
You
What
know
is the What is the next?
what you're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Check. Probably the best wing foiler in the world right now is this guy Johnny Heineken. How's that for a name?
Huh.
Yeah.
Real
Johnny
name.
Heineken.
Yeah.
That's a great name,
he's
right?
Up, he's up in the city.
Yeah.
And just
You can
check.
YouTube that guy.
Yeah.
Johnny Heineken.
Johnny
Heineken.
All right, as you're having your Heineken,
Yeah,
tonight,
yeah.
look down and be like,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Like,
Johnny.
We're both going to
Johnny.
forget that name. We're going to
Johnny
and
Heineken?
I be texting each other. What's that guy's name?
I'm gonna look tonight. Well,
Yeah.
like I was saying, YouTube's like my channel.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I don't really watch much else.
Yeah.
Johnny Heineken. That's a great name.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that.
That's going to be my new name.
And so you're traveling around the Delta too.
Yeah, I'll go up to the Delta, and because I build these specialized kite boards, they're all vacuum bag made out of high D foam, rocker jigs, and all that stuff. Then there's a little group of guys up there that ride those boards, so I have to go up there, make them, and deliver them, and either kite or wing, but nowadays I
And
just
why
go up
are
there
you
and wing.
vacuum bagging those?
Because I'm making them out of Divinycell, and so it's just a flat sheet of foam. So I'll cut them out, shape them, and then laminate them flat. Then I throw them in the rocker jig and put the vacuum bag on it, so I can put my rocker in there.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're still wet when you put them in there?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so they're
yeah.
still wet.
Still
they go
wet.
in the jig, you vacuum it, and as they dry, they keep
Yeah.
that shape.
Yeah, keep that shape.
Got it.
And then
So you shape them flat.
shape them flat.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's like going that's like going back to like 70s shit.
Yeah,
You know? Like
yeah.
when they used to make a cut, you know that board
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have? They
yeah.
cut it, cut it,
Uh-huh.
and create a little rocker.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, rad.
So
Okay.
yeah, I foil out the nose and tail, throw in a little bit of concave to them, and shape the rail, and then laminate them flat, then throw them in the rocker jig in the bag and
Strong as hell too,
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Super strong.
Yeah.
Huh. And what's the weight on those? Are they heavier?
No, they're. I
You gotta be
haven't
light.
weighed them, but they're probably maybe 4 or 5 pounds.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the foam's a little denser.
Oh yeah, super
You know?
dense.
Yeah, so that adds a
super
little bit of
dense.
weight to
Yeah,
it.
super
And
dense
then what
foam.
kind of glass jobs do those get?
Then those get double 6 double 6 bottom and double 4 bottom with a carbon strip down the middle, and then the same 2.6, 2.4 on the top.
That's like pretty much a fair amount of glass.
Yeah.
So
the weight's not bad for how.
They'll hold up. They'll hold up. They'll
Oh
last
yeah,
a
yeah,
while. They'll last
yeah.
a while.
Well, these things are built for flat water
Right.
jumping.
yeah,
And they
landing flat.
Yeah, landing
Yeah.
flat. Yeah.
Flat water, delta water.
Right. Yeah.
But they get like standing waves in the delta.
Yeah. So
Like
you get
because you get tide and wind.
Oh,
yeah,
right,
the
right,
tide
right.
and wind and
Yeah.
oh god. Okay, so the first time I ever went winging, so I went up to the Delta. I had a sup foil board, and the foil part was no problem. It was just you got this wing in your hand, and all of a sudden you get into the wind swell, and you're like, oh god, what do I do? You know, this fumbling, crashing, and so I would get in a boat with this guy that taught me how to kite, and he goes 3 miles upriver, and he launches people. And so I took a little ride, and so I wanted to do a downwinder. It was this howling wind, and the chop was like shoulder high.
Oh, really?
And I was like, oh man, this is game on. And I was crashing all the time because I kept on just running into the wing. And then the wing came off my hand. I was like, oh no. And I was able to grab it, and I was like, oh great. I was putting it on, and another gust took it, and the thing went like 500 yards, just tumbling. I'm like, no. And these 3 guys were coming back out winging, and it ran into one of the guys, so he tackled it, and it was such a strong current outgoing tide. I was sitting there paddling for 20 minutes, staying in the same place.
No.
And I had to wait for those guys to come to me, and finally I got it. It took me over 4 hours to go 3 miles. I
You're like,
just
quit?
Yeah, I was so pissed.
I'm going back to Middle Peak.
Yeah.
But yeah, look back at that day, I was like, okay, I want that day again.
Wow.
Shoulder high.
Yeah, because it was blowing about 20, 25, and then with it was a strong. It was going into a minus tide that day, so the river was flowing pretty good out.
Yeah.
Well, and the beauty of things like that. I mean, I remember when I started getting into sailing in the '80s. I cried a couple of times just because I got stuck.
Yeah.
St. Louis Reservoir one day, it was howling. I was over sick. I couldn't even get in. It was terrible. By the time I got in, I'm like, I quit.
Yeah.
You know, and of course, 3 days later, I was back trying it again. But I'm sure there's days when you're learning this new stuff.
Oh yeah. You're just frustrated. Like one day you'll just have a great session, and then next time you're just like you can't get up. You're just getting blown all over the place. And but I'm pretty much past that stage.
Yeah.
Funny thing about the day that I cried.
Yeah.
Steve Peters went by looking like a sex god. What the fuck just happened? No, seriously. He went by like a hair out of place. And I'm like dying. I'm like, God damn
He
it.
didn't stop
Well, John Mel told me the story where when he was learning how to windsurf up at Waddell, and he came in, and Pete was a little kid, and Pete was on the beach crying and going, "Oh, Dad, I thought you were going to die out there." And all this stuff.
We all were doing that together.
Yeah.
We were
That's
terrible.
funny.
I mean, I was terrible, but you learned.
Yeah.
You know, and I tell people that with surfing all the time. They're like, "Oh, I'm gonna learn how to surf." I go, "Well, just put in 100 days."
Yeah.
And you'll probably want to quit 3 times during that 100 days.
Yeah.
But it's not like you're gonna learn.
And it's fun being a crew again. It's just like
being new, something new. Yeah.
something new, something challenging.
Well, it goes back to what I said about VZ. You know, VZ like had conquered surfing. You know, so if something new, like fishing, was this thing.
Oh yeah.
At the end of his, sort of life that he had, and you know, he was stoked to learn something new.
Yeah.
And so I could see that. And I get it. I did that with race car driving.
Yeah.
You know, like I do different things.
Yeah. And just have a lot of fun with it.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
What's your custom surfboards? What is like you're doing most right now? What's happening most? Right now?
God, it's everything. Like I got 3 kite boards, those high defoam ones I got to make right now. Just finished up a wing board and went out the door today.
That's a big part of your business now, huh?
Yeah. And then I have like 4 or 5 custom, a couple longboards and a couple fishes and
It kind of sums up surfing, though.
Yeah.
You know, like what you just talked about. Everything's okay.
You keep it to where you have, you don't overload yourself. You just keep it to a certain amount per month.
Whatever comes in. Yeah.
Okay.
This seems like it's a steady trickle. Then seems like I'm doing just a hair of contract glassing now. Like I'll always do if Joey Thomas has a board, I'll always do a board for Joey. Always do a board for John Mel, and but it's pretty much all my own stuff now. Which
John Mel was stoked to have you do some glassing for him. I talked to him about it. He was. Yeah. You know, he was a one man show.
Oh yeah.
He's quality.
Yeah.
He wants them to be good.
Yeah.
But I talked to him when he's as most people maybe don't know, but he sold his factory and
it burned.
Well, it burned.
Yeah.
Then he sold the property.
So
I know you've been doing those boards, but he's stoked because you, I think, are a detail oriented perfectionist.
Oh. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean,
I do try. Yeah, I do try. Yeah,
I know that's your motto.
His boards are beautiful. Your boards are beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I do. Yeah, and I still enjoy it. So yeah.
So Joey and John Mel, they still get in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Then there's a couple of guys here and there that'll bring me like maybe 10 boards a year or something like that, and I'll throw in there. Just because they've been doing it for so long.
Yeah. Any changes at the ranch? Everything's cool?
Everything's the same.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
I mean, you go back to Westcliff.
Yeah.
There's like
you worked for them.
I worked.
Right?
I worked for Chuck.
Yeah.
But that's got to be like getting close to 50 years of surfboard building out there.
Yeah.
Probably.
That is the longest.
Because I've been out there for.
We should go out there and do a show, TC.
Yeah, it's a great spot.
I've been out there for 32, 33 years. I never thought I'd be out there that long.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
But it did change hands, right? No?
No, the Younger family still owns it.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah,
okay, awesome.
Younger family still owns it. Julio, he passed away, and his daughter took over all the
horse stuff?
The horse and rental, the rental
boarding
stuff.
Yeah.
But no, the Younger family still owns it. It did go on the market. Last year, I think they took it off. I think 250 acres.
Wow.
Yeah, it goes all the way up to UCSC and all the way down to the beach.
That's like Bill Gates stuff these days.
Yeah.
That's insane. Who would have guessed?
250 acres.
I tell you what, when I first started working there, Obo lived in the barn.
Oh yeah.
And Coletta was out there, and we used to get so stoned. And those guys were pros. They were the heaviest stoners on the planet, right? So we'd finish up a day at work, and they're like, "Come on, TC, smoke this thing." And it's like this long and that big, and I'm like, and they're like, "Later." And I'm like, "I can't drive home." And like, you guys, you're pros. I just go pet a horse for like an hour. I love you, horse.
Well, that's when the Bob Cates was out there too.
Yes.
I'm sure he was right in there with you guys.
And we couldn't work past sunset.
Yeah.
Because because I was a polisher, if I hit the trigger, the lights would blink in the house back then, and so you had to be done at sunset, and so it was that is so awesome you're still there, and the fact that there's so much history.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the house shop has more time as far as the glass, but that's it.
Yeah, house shop definitely, and hopefully those guys stay around forever out there.
What a dreamy spot that you have for a glass shop.
Oh my God, I know.
Yeah.
I pinch myself all the time.
We're going to go out there next time, TC.
Oh, it's a great spot. A lot of history.
You've been out there, haven't you?
I've been out there a long time ago, yeah.
We're actually going to get Chuck on the show.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, because he's going to talk about the surf leash. He's been doing a lot of research on the origin of the surf leash.
Now, is it still Pat?
That's what we're going to talk about.
Okay.
Yeah, of who actually built it and who possibly sold one maybe to Pat.
Yeah.
So so we're trying to get to the bottom of this, and Chuck is a historian. And Chuck, if you're watching,
Chuck talked to me about. When I was out there Rainbow Fin one day, and bumped into Chuck, and he talked about Thompson Avenue.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, that was another spot.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
What the shenanigans and what went on, all the shakers at Thompson Avenue.
And John Mel was there too.
Yeah.
They actually started out there too, and Tony Micas was there during that time.
Oh, Tony was such a classic. It's such a classic.
The list is so long, and a big reason why we originally said let's do this whole radio show was to try to get us all on the get everybody a sound bite. Because there's a lot of video and a lot of written word.
Well, there isn't video.
But the video is all surfing, and it's not. as much of this sitting down on like we're on a
Talking.
couch. So
Talking
it's,
shop.
yeah, it's
Right.
interesting.
Fun.
Yeah, it's good
Good
stuff.
time.
What are you doing tomorrow? You gonna wake up and go do some work?
I'll probably go in the shop early, then wait for the low tide to bottom out, then go for a surf. And if it doesn't look all that good, then I'll just keep on working and go kite.
Nice. Because it should be, the swell's gonna be around a couple of days.
Yeah, yeah.
It's nice to have those choices, huh?
Oh, I know.
Right?
Yeah.
You can just decide what weapon you're going to pull out pull out and use.
Oh, we got to get a golf game in.
I know. Yeah, we should play golf on these days.
Yeah.
That's the other thing you take when there's like everything else is shitty. Pull the golf clubs out.
I'd like to get out. I like to get out one day a week. Golf.
Yeah, it's fun.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a hoot.
Yeah.
Okay, and going back to golf, who's the best at golf? You think?
Ooh,
Of
nowadays.
all the guys that you're swinging clubs
I
with.
saw Nelly today. He thinks he's the best. I saw Nelly today.
Like,
He said he's the best. No.
He takes your money once in a while, though, doesn't he?
I'd say probably Rowdy.
Yeah,
Oh,
Rat's
yeah.
very good. Yeah, Rat's good.
He has a putting green in his house, I think.
Oh, I've been trying to get my wife Nancy to let me put one in.
Putting green.
I do have a net, so.
Jason seems like he might get angry golfing, though. I seem like he might be a pissed off golfer.
No comment.
Yeah, no comment.
I mean, I know Jason well.
seen him.
I don't golf with
Yeah.
him,
Oh,
but
my
I can
God.
see him like hitting the club on the green or something.
No
Yeah,
comment.
yeah,
That's funny. That is great.
yeah,
Well, you got anything else for our show
Good.
tonight?
Good to go.
Yeah, good to go.
Yeah.
Vince,
yeah.
so glad you came by.
What's your
today.
website?
It's Vince Broglio Surfboards.com.
Okay, VinceBroglioSurfboards.com. Okay, and your phone number, people get a hold of you?
831-234-7225.
There we go.
And so if somebody out there's thinking, hey, I remember Vince Broglio, I want to get that surfboard, they can call you up,
Yep, hit
come
me up.
down.
And they can get the beautiful art, the resin art that you make too,
Yeah,
also, right?
so my boards are way cheaper than my resin
Resin,
cage.
I know.
So.
Just start there and work your way up.
Start with a surfboard, get the art.
Yeah.
Right.
That's awesome.
Right.
And your art is amazing. And do you
thanks.
still have a gallery you're working with?
No, ever since the pandemic, a lot of the galleries shut down, and the ones that were in, they're open now, but I just haven't really put the hustle into it because art, you have to hustle.
Yeah.
You got to sell.
Yeah.
And I'm just having
Too much fun
too much
kiting and
yeah,
surfing.
kiting surfing,
Hey,
building boards.
You got plenty of time to do
Yeah,
art.
yeah, exactly.
You know, take care of business.
Yep.
Next week, Ward Coffee.
Ward Coffee. It's we're having a Shaper month.
Right, so we're having a
And
we're
then
going
the
back
week
to
after,
we're going back to the roots.
Joey Thomas will be here the week after.
Yep.
So we have 3 weeks of legendary surfers and surfboard shapers. So
A lot
tune
of history
in.
right there.
Yeah, we're gonna have some great talk. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Tyler Fox, Santa Cruz Waves. Thank you always for letting us be a part of your show. And Neil, we'll see you next week. Yep, with Ward Coffee.
Sounds good.
Vince, thanks
Thank you.
again. Yeah, we'll see you soon. Goodbye, everybody.
Ugh.